behaviors, attitudes, and techniques needed to succeed, Sandler had a winning combination. It all boils down to a flexible, conversational sales model that doesn't require you to memorize a tight script, which is useless anyway. These days, I call the Sandler selling system a sales GPS. It gets you where you need to go. David believed that salespeople are made, not born. He believed that we don't have to have an extrovert personality to succeed in professional sales, and he proved that with his own example. He believed we can continually shape how we proceed and how we interact with customers throughout our careers, that we don't have to get stuck in a comfort zone. Last but not least, he believed that sales is a science, not an art form, that there are clear causes and effects. I had the distinct privilege and honor of knowing David Sandler from 1986 until his passing in 1995. He was a great mentor and a great coach because his process was always you-focused. Let me explain what I mean by that. Traditional sales processes have always been focused on the products, the services, the features, and the benefits. A salesperson could spend countless hours searching for unique selling points and areas of differentiation from the competition, advantages that might be so subtle that only a sophisticated product specialist would notice them. From the prospects' and customers' points of view, most of the vendors were very close to each other, or even identical. David challenged us to focus not on the product or service being sold, but on the other person in the conversation, on the prospect, on the you. He wanted us to figure out what people's issues were. He wanted to know what the gaps were between where prospects are and where they want to be. He wanted to know how the prospect wanted to buy. At the same time, he taught us how to maintain the prospect's self-esteem. He showed us how to make people feel protected and safe in sharing information that they might not have thought of before, or that they hadn't planned on sharing openly with somebody whom they had just met. He maintained the self-esteem of his own employees in just the same way. There were 3 traits of David's that made it easy to work for him and operate within his culture. First and foremost, David was selfless, a word that is probably used too much these days, but it's the only one that accurately describes him. As a coach and mentor, and of course as a salesperson, he never focused on himself. He was all about focusing on others, and he did that while being quite soft-spoken. Another trait was that he operated with clarity. Clarity was a big part of his management style in communications and setting expectations. You knew what was important to him. He cherished loyalty, he valued hard work, and he made sure you knew where you stood at all times. You didn't have to worry about having a day or a week go by with uneasiness between you and the boss. David was very clear in sharing where we all were in terms of his vision for the future. He would provide the roadmap, or he would ask you to provide the roadmap. He would approve it, and then he'd ask you to come back and get constant feedback so you could adjust it along the way. He gave you clear guidelines from which you could operate. If you didn't get it right the first time, he was there to help you readjust. He would tell you what you did well, make you feel great about it, then start talking about the things that we still need to do. You always felt good about what you had accomplished, and you understood the gaps you had to close in order to get to the next spot. David's clarity provided boundaries for most of his interactions with managers. It helped me move to where I knew I had to go, so I could excel in a rapid fashion. In addition to providing clarity, David made sure you always felt safe. That was his third remarkable trait. I can't overstate the value of an employee feeling safe within an organization. Safety allows people to thrive on the things they do well, and it lets them focus on doing the things that need to get done. When you're afraid, you don't do the things that are necessary to excel to greatness. You hold back, you're hesitant, you second-guess yourself. The safety that David provided was through what he called the 2 P's, standing for protection and permission. He would protect you. He would make sure that you knew you were safe, as long as you were operating within the boundaries that you had agreed to.